Thank you, and thanks for coming to our Gamescom presentation of Project Spark. My name is Eddie Parker. I'm an engineer on Team Dakota who's making Project Spark. Sitting with me driving, my operator, is Bradley Reeb. He's our lead game designer. I've got a KINECT right in front of me, so if you see me acting kind of goofy later on, that's because we're doing some recording. You're going to see some fun stuff. Here at Gamescom, we're going to be showing some of our new bleeding edge features. It's an early preview of stuff, so be mindful of that when you see it. But we're also going to give you a kind of tour of Project Spark and what it means. Project Spark is a platform for building, sharing, and playing video games. And Bradley Reeb is going to start doing this by just driving off and making a beautiful terrain space for our adventure to take place. We're going to build a game right in front of your very eyes. He's using some of our very simple tools for sculpting and adding terrain. He's demonstrating undo right now by going back. We've got undo, redo, so you can basically go all the way back to the level you just started with. And just kind of build the play space you imagine. We're really about creating your own stories. We're really about creating your own adventures and sharing them with other people. And Bradley's seems to take place in this kind of canyon with a couple of trolls that we're going to try and find some interesting gameplay for. He's switching over now to our tunnel brush. And this tunnel brush lets us kind of chisel away at these cylinders we've made and make them a little bit more realistic. This is stuff that you might expect to see in a desert environment. You're going to end up seeing some nice carved pathways, maybe some nice areas where you can end up scaling. The tunnel brush is fantastic because it makes a nice level playing surface, which is ideal for gameplay situations. You can see there that he could easily just traverse that later. There's going to be a lot of fun here. So he's carving out this area, making sure that nothing looks too cylindery when he's done. And he's going to move on here pretty quick to one of our other tools, the Roughen? Yes, the Roughen tool. So this is great, but everything looks very smooth and not very windswept. We really want to have that sand dune-y look when we end up finishing this. So he moves on to Roughen. Roughen kind of pits and wears away the terrain in an uneven way and makes this just a very easy to see, vibrant place. It's got a lot of character. It looks like something that might have been around for a bit, and it's just shaping up the way you'd think it would. So there we go. Now we're going to add some actual character, some actual texture to this. We offer you a material set, some different ways of painting your world, and he's switched into our desert dunes. As he paints, it starts to paint sand with some nice characteristics, but the magic is when he hits the side. As he hits the side, we auto-detect that you're hitting that surface, and we don't paint with ground. We paint with exactly what you'd expect, a nice worn sedimentary layer that just looks proper. Bradley can now just go crazy driving wherever he wants and trust the way his brush operates. This is what we call smart paint. He's now going to move over into our nature brush. Nature is an enhancement on top of paint. Not only does it paint, but it drops props like rocks, like trees, different things that kind of bring your environment to life without you having to individually place it. It adds a lot of magic, and it remembers that at altitudes, at very high altitudes, you're not going to end up placing rocks. They just wouldn't exist. So he's got a very smart looking environment without a lot of time commitment. He's going to move on now and change over to our woodlands biome. This is showcasing how our biomes can mesh together quite nicely. He's also demonstrating that with the expanded sphere sizes he's got, they're going to drop very large trees. He's now moved to a smaller sphere size, and it's going to end up starting to drop just tiny little trees, rocks, different things of varying size depending on the brush. However fine you make your brush is however fine the detail we end up dropping for you. He's now going to switch into our river brush and kind of demark the area between the two, carving out water, leaving a nice little terrain that is cobblestones underneath, and deleting any props that might get in the way. So now he can test the environment he's just created. He can go take a look around and see exactly what he's shaped. He's switched, everything he just dropped is there. He's got a troll here that he's going to go see. Hey, it looks like press B, I get a cinematic. You'll never get my precious coin. There's birds that fly off. And then there's a troll, and this troll comes with what we call a default brain. It does what you'd expect. He comes at you, he clobbers you, and you've got a nice little melee combat just waiting to happen. So that's great, it's the start of something, but where's the game, and where is this coin this troll just talked about? So we're going to start shaping this. Bradley's going to switch and go into our prop mode and start moving this troll. It seems unnatural for him to be out in the open when we've got this nice alcove, so he's going to move them and maybe make this like a troll fortress. Maybe this is a big troll lair in his story. So he's going to clone them, he's got 2 bruisers up front, he's got 2 sentries out back, and maybe he's got a big boss guy just waiting at the end. So that feels pretty good. That looks like a good environment to start kind of having some fun in. But now he wants to set decorate. How can I make this really a troll place? How can I make it more menacing? In our prop library, he grabs the skull. The skull's about this big. But in Project Spark, nothing has to be the way we default it to. You make that skull bigger, you scale it. You can make it intersect with the mountain and rotate it down, and you've got Skull Mountain. More than that, Bradley's got an attention to detail that none other has. He's going to move over to our effects library, and he's going to switch over and find our fireball prop. In doing that, he's going to add some real good menace to this. This is not just an empty skull. This is glowing with fire. You can see how people who have got an artistic flair can really take off with very little work on this. They can set, decorate beautiful, beautiful levels. And now you've got a great end boss zone. But lastly, what about that coin? He's going to go into our assemblies, which are pre-built props with logic associated with them, and he's going to find, hey, here's a coin. He drops it next to the troll, so you've got to defeat the troll before you get the coin. And we've kind of got a little game shaping up with very little effort. You'll notice at the top there seems to be something magical there. We can go in and see the brains, but I'm going to save that surprise for later. And we're going to go into test. We've built a game. Let's see how this feels. Brad trudges forward with our character. Birds still fly off as before. And here are our new trolls. So let's see how this plays out. He's got 4 trolls, and they're all coming after him. And Bradley's pretty good at this game, so he's starting to melee his way across. But as good as Brad is, I don't think he's going to really fare well. 4 trolls on 1 human. He's good, but he's not that good. So we switch back into edit, and how can we level the playing field? Well, that's what's great. Everything in our game is editable. The character himself has got a brain on him. What controls him is programming that we provide to you. So we're going to end up going into the character now, showing his brain, and from here I'm going to show you something called the Brain Gallery. In the Brain Gallery, we've got a set of preset brains that do just what you think they would. This is a creator brain that will allow us to create and do some fun things that we'll show you. But I'm going to take a moment here and pause and show you our programming language and how versatile, but how easy it is. Our programming language is built off a Microsoft research project called Kodu. It's our spiritual ancestor. And it's built on the premise of when something occurs, do something. Very much cause and effect. Reading this, it makes sense. When left stick, do move. Anybody reading that would understand. If I use the left stick, I'm going to move. When A is pressed, do jump. I press A, I'm going to jump. And so on and so on. So with this now, we're going to go back out. Bradley's going to showcase one of our newest features that we're demoing for Gamescom. This is an early release. You guys are getting a sneak peek of something still in the works. This is our KINECT capture session. This will let us capture both full body motion. It'll let us capture facial animation. It'll let us capture sound and voice recording. So popping into this, here's the recording studio, and I'm going to try and make this troll mad because you're not going to get my coin. I'm just going to wear you guys away from me. So we're trying to find that right animation. I'm recording. I can end up doing full face animation. And Bradley's going to find that sweet spot to basically make an animation out of. So in the editor now, he's able to go in and crop and find that exact sweet spot that he liked. Whittle it down to exactly the length of the animation he wants. Almost looks like Disco Troll there. I kind of like that. And now he can save it. He can save it to the library to reuse it, to share it, do whatever he needs with it. And in this case, he's going to end up naming it something he can remember, save it so that we can use it from the prop gallery, and start to shape our world with this. You can imagine this is really powerful for things like machinima, for custom battle sequences, stuff like that. So now we're going to go test and see what our changes did. Going up to the troll, let's see how this animation played out. You go in there, and yep, he's just dancing mad. Go over, and we're going to see the trolls. They're coming at me, but we've now got this new creator brain, which lets us shape terrain in play mode. What looks like an edit-only power doesn't have to be. We've now got it here where we can corral the trolls inside of our game mode. They now can't really hurt anybody. They're stuck. And now we can traverse that really tough terrain, find that last one, and unveil another surprise, our superpower. Lastly, let's grab this coin and just turn back and see this awesome cinematic of a meteor shower. And all that came from some default props that we had built. Now Bradley's going to ride off into the sunset, and I'm going to show you our last feature, a feature set we call Infinite Worlds. Out of E3, people asked, how big are our worlds? And what you're seeing now is a new feature, Dynamic Worlds. As your play space grows, so does the water plane, so does the world you're in. We offer you now 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers used in any way that you want. And furthermore, we offer a feature called level linking. So you can combine your levels in an episodic style content spanning as far and wide as you'd like. Do you have any questions, or we can move on and show you the Crossroads mode? Any questions about what I just showed you? All right, I'm going to get Bradley to switch over and show you our Crossroads mode. For those people, what you've just seen is us creating something from scratch. And it was just that easy. No tricks, no secrets. Bradley's good, but he didn't have to be. You could be learning this for the first time. But what if you're still daunted and scared? Well, Crossroads is a great way to build yourself out a very fast level very quickly and to choose your own adventure style gameplay. We offer you a set of choices that I'm about to show you that will start to shape your world in a very dramatic and engaging way, and it'll leave you thinking that you're actually playing a game, not just creating one. At the end, what you create will be your own. You'll be able to remix it, you'll be able to share it, you'll be able to take little nuggets of it and use it in your own adventures. Anything you create in Project Spark, no matter where, how, or why, can be used anywhere else. So, furthermore, another thing I should get into while I'm just talking here is that we support Xbox 360, which is what we're Xbox One, which is what we're playing on right now, the Xbox 360, and the Windows 8. Anything that you create and share can be downloaded and played on another. Anything that you've got, that you've earned, can be shared across each of those as well. And we offer a very vibrant community for sharing, for commenting, for giving feedback, and sharing with your friends. So now we're going to step into the Crossroads mode. Like I mentioned, this is a choose your own adventure style of gameplay. We always offer you 3 simple choices that will dramatically shape your world. And we try to space them out so you're always playing games and you don't ever feel like you're getting interrupted. To start with, where's your setting? Are you in rivers? Are you in canyons? How about hills? Or mountains? We can shuffle it up. Doing this, we're going to dynamically build the play space, and you can choose how is your theme. Is it desert? Well, we just saw desert, and that was nice, but how about forest? We're going to end up shaping forest, and now we can choose our time of day. Is it night? Morning? Morning. And now we're going to start to procedurally build the world right out in front of you. So for people who are scared, and trust me, you have no reason to be, that you couldn't build a game, there's multiple ways, and you can do all of them. We're going to build this out, and we're going to set you with your first real choice. Where does your hero live? In your story, what kind of house does he live in? Is he in a windmill? I guess he is. Let's find out where to place it. And then, in placing this, we get to say, what is your hero? Is it a goblin hero? Is it a fighter? Or Bradley's favorite, the ranger. And then we get to make a very important choice. What is the gameplay dynamic of this game? Is this a find the objective? Is this a hack and slash adventure with a fetch quest at the end? Will you be rebuilding the town? Will you be defending the village? Is it an anti-siege campaign? And each of these can be strung together to change your narrative as time goes by. Choosing find the objective, it starts to shape out the world and place objectives so that you can continue on to your next set of questions and gameplay. We've now got a neighbor that we should go see, an objective meter that we can go track down. And you can see we've got dialogue, we've got the ability to kind of have interaction with existing NPCs. And any of this is editable. This is just what comes by default, but you could change this. If you want to have witty jokes in there, go for it. So he's accepted the quest, and now he gets to choose where's his endpoint. Is it a quarry? Is it the fortress? How about the druid shrine? Or mix it up and do something completely different. Place it, and now Bradley gets the chance to drive a path home. We drop side quests along the way to indicate, hey, here's another adventure you might want to choose. And then you get all the way home. And now we leave you to it. Go forge your destiny. Go fight goblins we've dropped along the way. Coins. Go pick up side quests. Deal with NPCs. Or if you said, that's great, you built me my template, switch into edit. Change everything up. Change the lighting. Change however you feel. So we've got a couple of goblins chasing him. And it's important to note, the other quests would have given him much more varied gameplay. We might have first-person shooters. We might have different siege quests. Here's his first side quest. He gets to choose between a squirrel ranch, pumpkin farmer, and observatory. And then in placing them, they've each got their own little game dynamics. I think Bradley's just going to go right through it, but if you'd want to... Oh, no, he angered the squirrels. This was the squirrel farm, and you don't want to mess with squirrels. But each of them would have interesting choices. Don't mess with squirrels, kids. And he's going to continue on his path. Grabbing the coin increments his meter. We've got NPCs in here you can buy stuff from, but Bradley's very confident he doesn't need any of that stuff. So he's going to go right into the druid shrine and pick his end enemy. Each of these end enemies are built using our own tool sets. They're built using our own code. There's no reason you couldn't build them, or better yet, we've already built them for you. Go edit this, copy, paste it, put it in your world. It's got AI built into it. It's got its own weapons, its own upgrades. Use it as you see fit. Oh, so close. And so Bradley timed it perfectly to both die and kill him at the same time. And there's his just rewards. You can go end up picking up... Oh, there's a goblin that snuck his way in. He can go pick up his coin, key rather, and then go into the treasure chest and get his reward and finish the level. So this is an example of how you would create something with an easy on-rails experience that you can then kind of take whichever direction you want from.